Hello, my crafty friends. Well, today I have a fun fold card idea to share with you, and I have two different ways that you can use this fun fold in your card making. Hi, it's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. In this episode of Stamptastic TV, I have two double flap triangular fun fold card ideas to share with you. So these cards are super simple to make, and I will show you how to create them in landscape and portrait style. Now, the cards in this video feature the True Beauty stamp set from Stampin Up, and I will also be featuring some of the organic beauty dyes from this particular bundle. Now, keep in mind, you can use any supplies you have on hand to create these fun fold cards. So let's get started. Okay, so here's what the triangular flaps look like, and this is the fun fold that we're going to create, and you can create it in either landscape style like this, or you can create it in portrait style like this. No matter which way you decide to create this fun fold, the measurements for creating the base are exactly the same. So you're going to start with 2 pieces of cardstock, and I'm using Mossy Meadow cardstock for my cards. Each piece of cardstock is 4 1/4 by 11 inches. So the first thing we are going to do is we are going to score them in the middle at 5 1/2 inches. So we're going to lay the 11-inch side towards the top, and we're just going to score it at 5 1/2 inches. And we're going to do this with both pieces of cardstock. Okay, so I'm going to be cutting from the corner of the cardstock to the center, to my scored area here. So I'm going to make this cut first, and then save these triangular pieces because I will have some additional card ideas to share with you during my Sunday morning live. All right, so here is our first triangular piece. So that's what it looks like. And then my second piece, I'm just going to cut on this side, and we'll cut from the score line down to the point. And then we have our second triangular piece. Okay, so here are the triangular pieces. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to adhere these 2 big pieces here are going to get adhered together, and we want our triangles to crisscross. So obviously they don't crisscross right now. So I can just flip this over, and I want them to crisscross like a little present or like a little envelope. So they create this little pocket here. So you could adhere them this way if you wanted just a triangular fold card with 2 triangular flaps, but we're going to make this double flap kind of envelope style pocket. So you just want to make sure that you adhere the 2 pieces, you know, separate from each other. So when it opens up, it looks like this. You have a triangular piece sloped this way, and you have a triangular piece sloped this way. So what we're going to do is we're going to adhere these 2 pieces together. So just add a bunch of glue to the back of this one. And then we're just going to slide this right up to the score line. And I recommend using the liquid glue because it's a little easier to kind of maneuver and straighten out. So there we go. So that's what it looks like. And that's how easy it is to create this. Okay, so now you can decorate it either in landscape style like this, you can decorate it, or you can decorate it in portrait style. So I'm going to show you how to decorate it in portrait style, and then I'll give you some tips for decorating it in landscape style. Okay, so this is the piece that we're going to decorate now. So I want to cut some designer paper that's going to fit on both of these triangular pieces. So I'm going to start with a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of designer paper. And basically for this card, I want my pink pattern to be kind of up on the top here, and I want this pattern to be down on the bottom. So I'm going to be cutting from the top right corner down to the bottom left corner to create my triangular pieces. All right, so I have two triangular pieces. So this one is going to go on this top piece here. And then when I open up the card, you can see this is going the wrong direction. So I'm going to use the other side, and I have my piece for the other side. So pretty cool. So now I have my two pieces, and I can go ahead and adhere them to my card. All right, so we are ready to decorate our card. I have a bunch of different pieces here that I cut out using that True Beauty bundle. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of white cardstock, and I'm going to add a little strip of designer paper here. This is just 3/4 by 5 1/4 inches. So I'm going to add that off on the left side. And then we can bring back our card and open it up. So I'm doing the portrait style. So I'm just going to add this right on the inside of the card. And then you can stamp a greeting or handwrite a message on the inside, whatever you want to do. But we'll just decorate it with a little scrap piece of designer paper. So that's the inside of the card. And now we'll bring our flaps back, and we will add our little embellishments here to the front. So I'm going to add the top one first, but I just kind of want to use these as a guide and line them up a little bit before I do that. And I have a couple of little die cut shapes that I'm going to use to decorate this card as well. So I'm going to add these pieces first. So we'll just glue these together. And then I'm going to add my this little die cut piece on the back. And basically, I'm going to add some dimensionals on the upper part of this floral. So we'll add one there, and then we'll add a couple up here. So I don't want dimensionals all over the floral because part of it's going to be hanging off of my little triangular shape here. So we'll put that on first. So now we're ready to add our second one. So we'll add the leaves off this side, and then we'll add our little bit of die cut. So I just added a little glue dot on the back to hold my little die cut piece in place. And then we're just gonna go ahead and adhere this with some glue. And that's it. So that's how easy it is to create this little card. And like I said, you can decorate it any way you want. I tied a little bit of organdy ribbon down here around the bottom just to hold this down. And the organdy ribbon just slides off. It's kind of like a little belly band, so it slides off, and then you can open up your card, and then you can slide the belly band back on. All right, so that's the first card. That's the portrait style. So to make the landscape style, you're going to use the same measurements for the base of the card. The only difference is you're going to cut your paper a little bit differently. So let me show you how to make that one. All right, so let's talk about how to make this card in landscape style. So this is going to be a little bit different as far as cutting your pattern paper. The measurements for the card base itself are exactly the same as what I showed you for the portrait style. But when you decorate it in landscape style, you're actually going to need 2 pieces of designer paper, and they measure 5 1/4 by 4 inches. So this is just front and back. See, I have front and back. So you're going to have to cut 2 pieces of paper, and then you're going to have to cut them diagonally in the opposite direction. And here's why. So if you look at this pattern paper, this piece works perfect for the bottom here because it's directional. But when I take this piece and I flip it over, it's upside down. So this piece is not going to work on this card, just this piece will, okay? So I have this piece doesn't work for this one. And then I have to do the same thing over here. So I have to have this piece fits on this bottom section, but when I flip this over, my flowers are upside down. So that's why you're gonna have to cut 2 pieces. So we're basically gonna be using these two pieces to decorate our card because they overlap this direction. And then these two pieces we can save for a different card. So let me bring back the card so you can see what I'm talking about. So this piece is going to go on this flap, and then this piece is going to go on this flap. And then you basically just decorate it the same way. I added my little florals, used just a different color, green for my leaves, and then I added a little greeting on the inside. So keep in mind, if you're creating the landscape style, you need 2 pieces of designer paper. If you're creating the portrait style, you just need 1. This is only if your paper is directional. If it doesn't matter, you know, how your patterns go, then you only need 1 piece of paper for each. But if you're using a directional pattern like I am, then you will need 2 for your landscape and 1 for your portrait. Okay, so there you go. Now you have 2 different ways that you can use this double flap triangular fold in your card making. And if you enjoyed these card ideas, feel free to download the printable tutorial. You can find the link in the description below this video. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by liking it and sharing it with your friends. And leave me a comment below to let me know what you enjoyed most about the video and the cards shared here today. Have a fun and creative day, my friends. Take care.